May you put the slides, please? Yeah. There is a presentation with... No? Okay. Next one. Okay. This is a presentation in which we hope to count with many people. Some of them are here in the room, and others are online, and others will be presenting their views by a short video. Let's hope that all the connections work well. So this is a project. This is part of a project, which is the Ocean Governance Project, which is a continuity of a previous European Union project about transatlantic exchanges between MPA networks of managers and MPA managers. So in this process, we have created different tools for improving management. For instance, some of them on resilience and others on marine mammals, and my colleagues Jean-Jacques Bouchard and Francis Top will present a little bit later. But the part that I'm going to talk is about the partnership between networks of managers. And those networks of managers initially were mainly regional networks of managers from the Mediterranean with MedPAN, which is also my association, with West Africa, with Rampao, Caribbean, with CAMPAM, and NAMPAM in North America. And in the first time, to these 4 regional networks, there were 2 national networks or institutions, agencies dealing with management of MPAs, one in France in the French Biodiversity Agency, we have FENIA here, and the other one in Spain with Fundación Biodiversidad, we have Elena here. So they will also contribute later. So during this first period in the past transatlantic from 2016 until 2019, we create a partnership in which we identify what were the commonalities of those networks. So we really see during this time that even if we are in very different geographic areas with different cultural backgrounds and different socioeconomic contexts, all those networks were playing crucial roles supporting the managers on the ground. To do this support, there were 4 main axes of activities. The first one was creating tools, providing information and knowledge useful for improving the management. The second axis was about capacity building. So all those networks were developing capacity building and training activities to help the managers to improve their skills. And these were many more technical aspects of the role of the MPA managers. Probably the most relevant on the ground for a manager on the ground. This support is what makes sense of being part of a network. But those networks also play other kinds of roles externally, not just with the constituencies. So these external roles were mainly policy support or advocacy, depending. Some people like to talk about advocacy. We prefer to talk about policy support because, in fact, what the networks are doing is supporting the governments in the implementation of the international agendas on the ground. So we do this, and the networks, by connecting with the managers, they are passing all the details of what are the targets at the implementation level, and vice versa. Also, they are providing information from the manager's point of view to the politicians and the governments, and this allows to understand better what are the challenges. And there's a 4 axis which is absolutely very relevant, and in fact is related with this a little bit with this poster and event we had this morning, which is fundraising. So one of the challenges that the MPA networks of managers have is also to raise funds for developing the networking activity, because very few people want to pay for that, but also mobilizing those resources towards the basis, so providing funds to the management. So these 4 axes constitute the partnership about the twinning, which was the name we give to this project with the networks. This constitutes, these 4 axes, what we call a common strategy. And this common strategy was elaborated with these 6 partners I mentioned. So in 2020, we began a new EU project, which is called the Ocean Governance Project, and includes the continuity of those partnerships on resilience, on marine mammals, and on MPA networks of managers. And in this extension, we decide to also extend the number of partners contributing, because there was more and more people interested in learning from those exchanges, because we were just exchanging between the different networks, how they do capacity building, how they do this policy support, how they raise funds. So more people was interested on that, and now we have more partners. So some of them will be even online today, and we have as regional new partners. We have OSPOR, we have HELCOM, we have the Marine and Coastal Group of Red Parques, and we have the Patagonian Forum, which is from going down from Brazil, Uruguay, Argentina, as well as Chile, even it's not Atlantic at all. So these are regional, and we also increase the national dimension. Why? Because the experience of working with the French Biodiversity Agency and the Fundación Biodiversidad allow us to see that the role of the regional networks cannot be isolated from the national action. In fact, one of the contributions they play is to support as well the national agencies. And if we really develop a better articulation, a better connection and cooperation with the national institutions dealing with the management of MPAs, this could be really great. So we decided also to open the door for other countries having national agencies dealing with MPAs. Now we have NOAA. In fact, NOAA was involved at the beginning as well, representing NAMPAM, so they are not exactly new at all. But in the past, they were more as NAMPAM. Now we have NOAA as United States. We have the CONAM in Mexico. We have Parques de Colombia. We have the Directorate of Biodiversity of Dominican Republic. We have two institutions in Uruguay, Océanos Sanos, which is an NGO, and the Department of Rocha, which is governmental in the north of Uruguay. And then on the other side of the Atlantic, we have also Senegal, two institutions from Senegal, Parks of Senegal and the community managed marine protected areas also in Senegal. So this provides a larger list of networks, and this enriches a lot our exchanges. And this is the framework. And what we want to present today to you is the value of those exchanges and see this value at different levels. The first speaker I will invite is Joe Appiot, which is one of the responsible people from the Marine Program at the CBD Secretariat, because as you can see, one of our main roles is to contribute to the implementation of those targets of the CBD. And this may become even more relevant when we look at the 30 by 30 target. Imagine if we are at less than 10% of marine protected areas, and this 10% is not well managed. It's absolutely the big challenge for the 2020 objective of the 10% is to manage it properly. So if this is a challenge today, imagine when we will have 30%. So really enabling those exchanges, helping people to be more competent, more familiar, having more resources to implement a good management is crucial. And this includes as well mobilizing more financial resources. That's why this morning we present this alliance between networks of managers of marine protected areas and conservation trust funds, because we identify this can be a very nice complementarity between experts on management and experts on fundraising, and this could allow to really mobilize resources more going to the ground at the management level of the MPAs. So now I will invite Joe Appiot, and he's there. Hi Joe, nice to see you. And it will be great if you can share with us how do you see from the CBD those kinds of networking, exchanges, and cooperation. Thanks.
Sure. Happy to be a part of this. Apologies that I can't be there in person, but we have, of course, COVID-related challenges restricting the travel of many of us. And I also have a 3-month-old baby at home, so it's another thing keeping me here. But apologies if I do sound a bit groggy. Participation in this conference it's fantastic that we can do so virtually, but it also means I've been up since about 4 a.m. this morning here in Canada, so a bit tired, but nonetheless, really happy to be a part of this event and a part of this very distinguished panel of experts. So. As Putty said, this work is really critical to the implementation of the convention and the achievement of the goals that are set under the convention. And in fact, this Congress is really one piece of this historic moment in time for ocean and nature. And another piece of that is under the CBD. where our parties are currently negotiating a new post-2020 global biodiversity framework, which we expect will be adopted at CBD COP15 next year. In fact, we actually just wrapped up the third meeting of the post-2020 working group negotiations last week. We had 2 weeks of pretty intensive discussions, and the process is moving along. And this is this Congress is coming at a really critical time to help push the momentum to make sure we develop a strong, robust framework, and that we have the pieces in place to ensure its implementation. The framework will have a new set of global goals and targets, as I'm sure you all know, and these will be really building on and carrying on from the Aichi biodiversity targets, which reached their end date in 2020. And of course, we have to learn lessons from the Aichi targets and build on their successes and learn from their shortcomings. The Aichi targets catalyzed enormous attention and enormous action, including adding some momentum and catalyzing the growth and expansion of marine protected areas around the world. Sadly, we failed to fully achieve the Aichi targets, and much of this was due to the lack of robust implementation to actually follow up on these commitments. And as Putti said, governments are now looking towards even more ambitious commitments for MPAs and expanding the coverage. And of course, this has to come not just with the quantitative element, but also with the qualitative aspects and ensuring that they're effective and equitable and connected. And as governments announce, look towards these more robust targets and even announce their own new marine protected area commitments, which they're already doing. This will be an even higher burden placed on MPA managers to actually realize these commitments and actually put these commitments into practice on the ground. The CBD is built on the notion, and it's explicit in the text of the convention, that biodiversity is quote, the common concern of mankind, and that globally coherent responses are really needed to reverse trends in biodiversity loss. But the reality is that we're not all in the same boat, unfortunately. Some of us are lucky enough to be in super yachts and others perhaps in small canoes. And these differences are not only in terms of financial resources. It doesn't only mean that those places with more money are doing better. It's also about knowledge and experiences and practices. And of course, we know that many developing countries and developing communities around the world have very successful local approaches in effectively implementing MPAs. So that's why initiatives and work like this is really key. They allow us to leapfrog on each other's successes and to not repeat the same mistakes. They help to pair those with readily available resources and knowledge with those in need of those knowledge and resources. And they build a collective understanding of what effective implementation looks like. So as we look towards realizing the ambitious commitments of the targets of the post-2020 framework, projects like this will become even more important. As we said, we have lots of experiences, lots of practices that are built at different levels and scales. And if we hope to be effective in the future post-2020 targets, we need to expand our networks. We need to bring more collaborators, broader collaboration from different sectors, different stakeholder groups into marine protected area development and implementation. And we need to learn from our successes and learn from our failures. And that's part of what this project is, and this initiative is really critical towards achieving. And we really look forward to what it can help to do to actually help us achieve the goals of the post-2020 framework as well. So look forward to the remainder of the discussions of this event, and happy to be a part of it. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Joe. It is really nice to hear from you, and we are really ready to support all the CBD new targets, and you can count on us. I think all my colleagues agree on that. Thank you.
Great,
so now I will be very glad to introduce you some of our partners, and you can hear different opinions on what this partnership represents for them. So I think the first are in video, if I'm not wrong. It's Andres Milesi from Red Parques. No, it's not Red Parques, sorry, it's Patagonian Forum, Andres Milesi. It's not ready?
A partir del año 2019 conocimos al proyecto Gobernanza Oceánica a través de la Red Transatlántica de Áreas Marinas Protegidas, con la presencia en la primera conferencia de los océanos de Uruguay de purificación Canals. Ella nos invitó a OCC, Organización para la Conservación de los Cetáceos, a formar parte de este proyecto transatlántico. Obviamente, eso se forjó luego en la primera propuesta de área marina protegida de Uruguay, la cual llegaría a un buen porcentaje de nuestro mar uruguayo como protegido. Esta participación de OCC en este grupo permitirá obviamente un respaldo a nivel del Atlántico y fortaleciendo nuestras acciones para la conservación del mar uruguayo. Esta interacción nos ha favorecido a OCC por el intercambio de experiencias positivas que nos permitirá, obviamente, una mejor capacitación y una mejor propuesta en nuestras áreas marinas protegidas de Uruguay. Y ojalá podamos cumplir con los objetivos que nos hemos propuesto de alcanzar en el 2030 un 30% de áreas marinas protegidas.
Just as a summary, I was invited by them 3 years ago to present the Transatlantic Initiative, and it was during the first Ocean Conference in Uruguay. So from this conference, the organization made a proposal that was endorsed by the government and the parliamentarians to establish a lot of MPAs, especially far from the coast. So they are really now interested in really improving their network, and they really talk about the value of having this Atlantic support on all the future management of those MPAs. So this is the summary. So the next video is from the Dominican Republic, if it's ready.
Uri me contactó a través del protocolo SPAO para una reunión que querían hacer acá en Santo Domingo en el marco de un proyecto que también estaba en ese contexto de trabajo alrededor de los océanos y de los ecosistemas marinos.
A partir del año 2019 conocimos al proyecto
Efectivamente, la reunión se desarrolló acá y ahí tuvimos la oportunidad de intercambiar con ella y con otros colegas que estaban pasando revista a la parte final de uno de los proyectos, y tuvimos la oportunidad de explicar lo que hacíamos acá. Ellos tuvieron la oportunidad de ir a uno de nuestros parques nacionales íconos, que es el Parque Nacional Los Haitises, y eso abrió un espacio para yo intercambiar con ella lo que se estaba haciendo, lo que estaba los esfuerzos del proyecto y cómo nosotros podríamos incorporarnos más allá de esa reunión. Así que en ese contexto ocurrió el conocimiento del proyecto. Más adelante tuvimos una invitación para ir a Europa y conocer parte de los esfuerzos también que se estaban haciendo y los resultados concretos del proyecto y la posibilidad de ampliarlo, que ahora hemos tenido dificultad con el tema de la pandemia. Estos proyectos, a veces la gente no logra aquilatar el impacto positivo que puede tener el intercambio de experiencia, conocer otras experiencias, el que tú puedas fortalecer mecanismos de hermanamiento y de incorporación para intercambiar tus experiencias. Yo creo que ahí está el detalle y abrir las posibilidades de generar capacidades. El hecho también de que el proyecto tiene un enlace a través de un mecanismo regional como es el protocolo SPAO del convenio de Cartagena, todo eso nos abre una oportunidad para nutrirnos con la documentación que se van generando, las experiencias que se originan en otros sitios que uno puede asimilar. Nosotros tenemos oportunidad de promover las cosas que estamos haciendo aquí con otros colegas. Así que yo creo que ahí es que está la riqueza de eso, y lo pudiéramos sintetizar en que tú tienes la oportunidad de obtener documentos y herramientas que puedes utilizar para tu trabajo interno, haciendo la lógica adaptaciones. El que sea esa escala nos abre una oportunidad mayor cuando tú estás, por ejemplo, en una reunión y puede oír gente que te está comentando de experiencias que te impactan y que a veces tú dices, bueno, pero mira, eso me pasa, que le puede estar ocurriendo a gente en Asia o en África y en otros espacios, y eso sin duda que tiene un gran impacto, y además la oportunidad de intercambiar con otra gente que está desarrollando lo mismo que tú en otro ámbito y poder intercambiar con ellos de una manera abierta, también eso es una cosa muy importante, que la gente no lo dimensiona, pero que cuando tú estás trabajando en tu país en planificación, todas estas cosas te surgen para tú forjar la planificación que tú estás haciendo en este país y te nutre de todas estas cosas y tiene un valor sumamente importante.
Well, I will do a quick summary for those that don't understand Spanish. So we contact with the Dominican Republic through the SPOke protocol in the Caribbean, linked to the Cartagena Convention, and we have today Sandrine that we'll mention a little bit later. And they were very nice hosting one of the meetings in Santo Domingo. And it was very interesting having the meeting there because we could also do a field visit to one of the national parks in República Dominicana, Parque Nacional de los Haitises, and it was an opportunity to meet with the managers of the country. So the Jose Mateo, the Director General of Biodiversity, stressed the value for them to learn from other countries about management, about the possibility to maintain those exchanges in the time and to apply in the management of the MPAs of the country. So I think it's very nice to see that even if you have, as it was said previously by Joe Appiah, even if you have resources, learning from other experiences is always very important to improve. So now I will go to the direct speech, either from online or here in the place. And I propose a question to everyone, more or less. So the first I have in the list, I've been informed that not everybody is connected right now, so maybe we have a little bit more time for each of you that we are here. So the first one is Marie Romani. I don't know you, I never seen, from MedPAN. And my question, since you have been involved from the beginning, and you know quite well what it means to manage a network of managers in the Mediterranean, and you know, having this Mediterranean dimension, what is the value for a very regional network, very close in the sea like the Mediterranean, of being connected in a huge area as the Atlantic?
Thank you, Puri. Maybe one of the value is to learn to dance salsa from the Caribbean. No, because MedPAN, we were created in 2009, and there was a lady, Georgina Bustamante, from the Caribbean network of MPA managers, so like us in the Med, but in the Caribbean, and she said, I would like to come to MedPAN workshop, and we invited her. And from there, it was maybe in 2010, and then there was the Impact Free Congress in Marseille. And she was there, and we said, why not organizing a workshop together, you know? And we learned a lot, not only salsa, but we learned that CAMPAM has a great capacity building program for MP managers. And at this stage, we were quite new, MedPAN, and we learned a lot from CAMPAN. So it was the start of this. And then few years after, we met NAMPAN, so the North American network of MP managers with Lorraine and Gonzalo at this time. And Rampao, my cousin that will speak from Africa, Marie-Suzanne Traoré. And today I have to say that the value is to work like a real team. I mean, we are working, we save time also. This is a great value. And also we are connected beyond the Mediterranean. And we are connected and we progress a lot on the technical level, because we don't know everything in the Med, and it helps us a lot to learn from other part of the world about how to manage MPAs, about different issues that also we face in the Med, fisheries management, tourism management. We have a lot to learn from Africa, from the Caribbean, and other part of the Atlantic. So at technical level, we progress a lot. But also at strategic level, Puri introduced this, and especially it helps us MedPAN not to be alone and to have a stronger voice for MPA managers. For example, at different international events like this one, the WCC, but also in one of the UN Ocean Conference. I remember Puri made a joint speech on behalf of all the networks. And so this was a great opportunity. And more recently, it offers also new opportunities for us, MedPAN, to join forces with those other networks to fundraise together. And this could be some funds that MedPAN alone we never could imagine to access. So yes, just to say, to finish, that new networks are coming in this alliance, in this family, and we hope to continue work for many years.
Thank you, Marie. It's very much appreciated. So I don't know, I'm not sure that Marie-Suzanne Traoré from Rampau is online now, but Gonzalo is. Gonzalo is from the NOAA, but he's also one of the promoters of NAMPAM in North America. So I will invite Gonzalo to take the floor and share with us the value that this networking experience across the Atlantic has for you. Hi, Gonzalo. Good morning for you.
Hey, good morning, Puri. Thank you. You can hear me well, right?
Yes.
Oh, good. It's weird. I mean, I can see myself twice in the screen. So, greetings, everyone. And we are really sorry we couldn't be there in person. But as many of us, that we are having some travel restrictions in the U.S. government. But I'm really glad that you were able to get together at WCC, and I've been following some of the conference online, so I think it's been a really interesting experience for us. Well, I mean, we have expressed so many times that from the NOAA and from the North America perspective, this particular program or project, and thanks to all the people, especially Puri and the people that have been, pushing for this activity to get us involved, for us has been probably a really important step in terms of consolidating our own network. I mean, in North America, in Canada, the US, and Mexico, we have very different views, maybe similar objectives, but very different views about how MPAs should work, how MPAs should be managed. We have different structure of governance, in each one of our countries. And the only thing I can say that by participating and being part of this network of networks, we have become a much better network. I mean, I've repeated this many times, but for us, it's been a really important push to consolidate the North America MPA network, to bring new partners to our activities. And right now, after pretty much for many years, the North American network working just at the very, a personal level in so many ways with the support of the Council for Environmental Cooperation. Now we have a much more structured group of people and managed at this point or coordinated at this point by the UN, the UNEP North America office. It has been a really important activity also to try to identify objectives that are in which we can work. Working as a network is, as all you know, is very different than working at the SAT level. We need to have and develop activities, targets, objectives that are relevant for a network. And at least in our part of the world, we have identified climate change, connectivity, migratory species, capacity building, community engagement as those priority topics that can actually get us all together under a common structure. And I mean, we are here, and we have been part of this group to not just to learn, but also share our own experiences. And as I said, if I can finish it with this, that being part of a network or developing a network is not an easy task, but being part of this group, as I said in the beginning, have helped us to develop a much stronger network in North America. So we have no more than, to say more than thanks to Puri and all this group, and we are very happy to be part of this initiative.
Muchas gracias, Gonzalo. Thank you for the involvement of NAMPAM and the involvement of NOAA, which is very rich for us as well. We learn a lot from you, so I think the exchanges are really productive from both sides. Thanks a lot. So let's continue with our list of speakers. And now, now we move to the Caribbean, and we have Sandrine Pivar here. And it will be great to know what this project means for, I think it's the eldest network of managers, CAMPAM, if I'm not wrong. You exist before we were created, and
it's very possible because it was created in '97. So first, maybe I can introduce myself. I'm Sandrine Pivar. I'm the director of SPORAC, Specially Protected Area and Wildlife Regional Activity Center. For those more familiar with Cartagena of Barcelona, it's the equivalent of SPARAC for Cartagena Convention in the Caribbean. I'm speaking on behalf of SPORAC, but also on behalf of the Secretariat itself, UNEP, and especially the Biodiversity Coordinator, Ileana Lopez from the Secretariat, and representing here CAMPAM. So, as you said, I need to precise that if MedPAN learn things from us, it's definitely not salsa from me, because I'm absolutely unable to dance salsa. But indeed, at that time, we had a wonderful coordinator called Georgina, and she was there since as much as the CAMPAM network existed, and thanks to her, and I joined in 17 the project, so we were representing both CAMPAM at that time, and we started working on all the things you already said, so working on improving the way to work together, exchange experience. Our colleague from the CBD said we have small boats and big boats, and I think in all regions we have those, but whether big boats and small boats all needs to be connected, especially as we are dealing, and that's my specialty, we are dealing with species that don't stay within the limits of their MPAs, and especially migratory species. I'm especially dedicated to migratory species and marine mammals, sharks, fish. So we definitely need to have this connectivity, and what we learn through that project, definitely, and it was a request from our contracting parties, because Gonzalo Cid is also the focal points for the USA, and you hear also the Dominican Republic focal points. They requested from us to work really definitely to improve ecological connectivity for the MPAs. And for this, we need human connectivity. We can see how much it's difficult for the last 2 years, where we have wonderful means of communicating, but nothing replaces the fact to be together, to drink together, to salsa together, so even if you can't. And so that's it. And what UNEP really recognizes is the need of human networks to have effectiveness and of management of the MPAs. So feel free if you have more questions. We have already maybe some very concrete example with the other training on marine mammals. We co-developed a tool with marine mammal training. Jean-Jacques just left, but he also did wonderful things on coastal resilience. So definitely we need to go on with this. Thank you very much. I hope I
thank you. Merci, Sandrine. So now we will hear some examples of the value for national institutions of this networking. So I will begin by my own country with the Fundación Biodiversidad and Elena Pita, which is the director.
Thank you very much, Puri. Well, I would like to start by reminding something that has been discussed in many of the sessions of the forum, and I think there is a consensus on the need of alliances. And well, it doesn't need to be reminded, but it is true that it has always been the case, but in the current moment we have to urgently tackle 3 important crises at the same time, so climate change, loss of biodiversity, sanitary crisis. It is important to remind that we can do something together. So in this general framework, there's also something that has been discussed in the forum is related to innovation. And I think that innovation is not only technology, it's very often related to governance and to participatory processes and how we can share one can share knowledge and learn from each other. So from our point of view, the participation in this project and in the previous one has been very interesting from this point of view. The participation of the Fundación Biodiversidad, which is part of the Ministry of Ecological Transition and Demographic Challenge. I should take that. I cannot breathe. Ooh, much better now. Well, our participation has been through the Intemares project, and this is a life nature integrated project, and I think the added value that this project provided, well, it works for the designation of MPAs, but also for the development of participatory management plans. And I think the added value is related to the creation of a space for dialogue between different stakeholders. So regional governments, NGOs, the fishers, the fishing sector, tourism, and of course the research and the national government. From this experience, we have many lessons learned, and I think this kind of environments have really helped the project, as well as other specific or more concrete aspects, like the activities regarding, I don't know, capacity building, effective management, sustainable tourism. So, well, thank you very much, and let's continue doing a good job.
Muchas gracias, Elena. And yeah. And now we don't move because we are already in France, but we give the floor to the representative of the French Biodiversity Agency, Fenia, that supported a lot as well the project in the past, helping with additional funds for fundraising, developing a fundraising strategy. So your commitment is also very appreciated.
Thank you very much. So yes, there is an added value in supporting this kind of initiatives. In one hand, because networks of MPA managers are really a cornerstone to support implementation of public policies and work with stakeholders on the ground. And at the same time, this is translating the objectives of global strategies, and like the one that France is co-leading with Costa Rica, the High Ambition Coalition for 30 by 30, both inland and at sea. There is also an added value because it makes linkages between strategic partnerships that the French Biodiversity Agency is supporting. So this makes it even more efficient. And let me list some of them just to showcase how the waves are moving throughout the ocean. So first of all, multi-scale partnerships are with the French Forum of MPA Managers. So the French Biodiversity Agency has always been supporting regional networks of MPA managers at national level with the French Forum, at regional level with MedPAN. And so yeah, we want the French Forum in the Transatlantic adventure, and even now in the EU founded project Ocean Governance. We had Joe Appiat from CDB, and it makes sense to introduce the networks of MPA managers in the SOI initiative, which is the Sustainable Ocean Initiative. And jointly with another global partnership, which is the Marine Protected Areas Agencies Partnership, the MPAP. And not only, we were talking about the 30 by 30, and in the EU strategy, the European Union Biodiversity Strategy, we are already talking and negotiating about strictly protected areas or highly protected areas, or the best word to find. And save the date, in March 2022, during the French presidency of the European Union, there will be the LIFE platform meeting organized by the LIFE Integrated MARA, the French Big LIFE, that jointly, in partnership with other EU LIFE integrated projects, including Intemares, to work on highlights for this part of European Union's biodiversity strategy. So, just concluding by telling that it's very inspiring working with very motivated people around the oceans and the regional seas. So, thank you to all our partners, colleagues, and fellows, and you, Puri, and the wonderful team to move forward with that.
Merci beaucoup, Fenia. Merci. And now we go to the other side of the Atlantic, and I would like to invite Fernando Camacho from the CONAM in Mexico, that has also been supporting a lot these exchanges with networks, as well contributing to the other twinnings, other activities of the project, especially on the resilience. Bienvenido, Fernando.
Gracias, Puri. Yes, good afternoon. My name is Fernando Camacho. I'm going to put away this thing too because it's very difficult to talk with it. Yeah, my name is Fernando Camacho from National Commission of Protected Areas of Mexico, and I am here too as representing Red Parques. That is a network of Latin American protected area system. Right now we are 22 countries that are working together, trying to increase awareness and to share experience about the management of the protected areas. And well, first I'm going to talk about Mexico, later I'm going to talk about our network with North America, and finally Red Parques. Yeah. Well, Mexico is as you probably know, is a biodiversity country, and right now we are almost 22% of our oceans protected by marine protected areas. And as you already know, managing a marine protected areas is a little more difficult than a terrestrial. You need more budget, you need more experience, no? And that's why for us it's very important to create networks with another country and to share experience, trying to increase the effectiveness of the protected areas. That's why we are working very close with our colleagues from North America, Canada, and United States, and we have a very good relation in marine protected areas. 2 years ago, we developed a tool. Probably you can find it. Is for a rapid assessment of vulnerability for marine protected areas that can help us to work with the people from the communities and to know what is happening with them, no? Because if you want to manage a protected area, you need to do it with the people and for the people. And that's why we create this tool that could help us to work with the communities that are involved with the management. And in the other case, we are in the middle of the North America and Central and South America. We are working with Red Parques. As I said, Red Parques has 22 countries working together. And in Red Parques, the way that we work is for working groups. We have a working group for tourism, and one that is, I guess, working so much and has a lot of results is the one related with the protected areas. And that's why we, in these spaces, we try to share experience and share tools, that the one that I already said. And of course, later we started working with the MedPAN. That is, we shared another ocean to the other part of our country, and that's why for us it's very important to be here and share experience. Thank you, Piri.
Thank you. Muchas gracias, Fernando. Now I don't know if Mamadou CDB is it's not connected. It seems that the Africa connection is not working very well today. So let's move to the next slide, because I think it's very important, even if it's not exactly the target of the specific exchange between the networks. The Ocean Governance Project and the previous Transatlantic, as I say, we had two other activities of networking with managers of MPAs that were targeting technical aspects of management, very relevant. One is coastal resilience and the other one is marine mammals protection. And we are doing these intertwining exchanges and mutual support. So I will invite now my two colleagues to take the floor, the two experts that work with me at the ocean governments, taking care of these two specific parts, because I think it's interesting that you heard from the work that has been done by all those managers involved in these other exchanges, in the creation of these tools, and how the networks can contribute to really expand, use those tools. And in the case of resilience, we also have some political challenge with a resolution that has been proposed by the group and approved. So, Jean-Jacques Boussard.
Thank you very much, Puri. Yes, due to time restriction, I will be very brief. And first mentioning that we have a specific session on Tuesday 7 at 2:30 p.m. in the Hall 8. So it will be a specific session on coastal resilience tools. We have been working on coastal resilience with various partners from US, from Mexico, from Brazil, from Portugal, from Gabon, from Senegal since 2016, addressing the strategies of MPAs to contribute to resilience of surrounding coastal territories, and also the strategies of MPAs to increase their own capacity of resilience. We have been working based on good practice of our partners, literature review, a lot of things. So finally, by early 2020, we have been delivering specific tools in order to increase the resilience consideration into management effectiveness evaluation frameworks, and also to improve management plan in order to take into consideration the resilience. I would like to mention that during this Congress we have a specific resolution. It is a resolution 2020-030 on coastal resilience. I think that it is one of the only resolution on coastal resilience, and the tools we are developing will contribute a lot to the implementation of this resolution you can find on the platform of the Congress. So thank you very much, and I hope that I will meet with you on Tuesday 7. Thank you very much.
Merci beaucoup, Jean-Jacques. And now I invite Francis Top, which is the coordinator for the marine mammals twinning, and you can...
C'est pas dans le nez. Thank you, Puri. Thank you, Jean-Jacques. I'm going also to be super brief. I have a 90-second video to show you, but I just want to say one thing is migratory species such as marine mammals is a perfect example that a transboundary approach and collaboration between networks is needed, because depending on where you are, you are sharing the same population most of the time, so really you need to work with each other and forget the boundaries and just like ocean as a whole. So if you can show the video, thank you, Puri.
Thanks, Francis. No, it's not.
Change resilience. Marine protected areas, MPA, are marine mammals play a crucial role in marine ecosystem function and climate change resilience. Marine protected areas, MPA, are a common tool adopted to protect marine mammals. In order to empower practitioners, managers, and policymakers to effectively conserve marine mammals, the Ocean Governance Marine Mammal Twinning created a toolkit to guide the conservation of marine mammals through MPAs. Marine Mammals Management Toolkit contains 3 key components: fact sheets, self-assessment tool, and good practices. There are 23 available fact sheets within the toolkit that provide concise information examples to common barriers, and guidance on solutions while directing to helpful resources. The self-assessment tool enables MPA managers to assess the extent to which marine mammals are included in their management plans. Accessible as an interactive tool, it facilitates the monitoring and evaluation of MPAs over time. The good practices have been designed to present key examples of good practices implemented throughout MPAs and the marine environment. Visit www.marine-mammals.info for more information. Share resources, suggestions, and good practices at ocean-governance at biodivcouncil.fr.
Well, this is just a taste of the deep work done on the development of this interesting tool. So just to summarize, because we are just arriving at the end, and I will say that we wanted to show you some examples of the value of networking, from the basic networking between managers that allows to develop the resilience or the marine mammals tools, until the more complex networking between networks that allows to really go at the ground level, supporting collective communities of managers, doing capacity building, doing advocacy or policy support, and fundraising. So you can see that the possibilities, if we really create these corporations, are really, really huge, and more important, they are absolutely needed. So now the Ocean Governance Project allows us to work not only in the Atlantic, but in the Southeast Asia as well. And we are mainly targeting the Coral Triangle area as the main focus. And we are working with regional institutions there. And one of the topics is doing some restoration works. I will not talk about this, but other aspects are promoting this transboundary conservation that my colleague Francis just mentioned, for instance, taking advantage of migratory species or from a seascape approach. This is part of also the activity of the ocean governance. And we want to promote as well the networking, because we really think that, as I said at the beginning, if we really want to respond very quickly and effectively to the new challenges of the marine conservation, we really need to work together and learn ones from the other ones and act in a coherent manner and with clear targets and capacities. So we still have few minutes, and I will be glad if you have questions or comments on what you heard. No questions? That's great. That means everything is clear. Well, if you don't have questions, I will just say that please share with any people that may be interested. Our website is oceangovernance4mpas.eu, and you can find there more details about our activity. And if you find us around during those days, please feel free to approach us and ask any question that you wish. So our ideas are also, I forget, this is interesting, the Southeast Asia development is not separated from the ASEAN. One of the objectives of the project is also to allow communities from the Atlantic to exchange with communities on Southeast Asia. And this is even a larger opportunity for learning without borders. So it's probably the best way to approach ocean protection, because there is only one ocean. So we are just responsible for a little part, but this little part is just part of the only ocean. So independently of where we are, we have the same responsibilities, and it's great to share this knowledge and the possibilities to working together and contributing to motivate more people, especially at government level, to put more effort and more resources for management. It's not just about designating. We don't need more paper parks. We need real protected, marine protected areas, well managed and with the involvement of people. So thank you very much for your participation and your attention. Thanks.